Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of 6 for 6, where we are finally back from a month break from the World Cup. Now we're leading up to our NFL and college football season. So we got our 6 for 6 picks really locked in. Pretty good for the most part leading up to week 0 college football, but we had to do a filler week with the NFL preseason week 2, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, last episode from the World Cup, we got the Spain for the correct pick. However, we didn't get the correct pick in the France and England game. Hey, that's kind of how the World Cup ends for us. But our season 5 episode right now, ladies and gentlemen, is 67, 28, and 6. So overall, great performance, great overall season that we're having thus far. And keep in mind for other announcements, ladies and gentlemen, we have other ETB shows that well, not say shows, but content that we got in the pipeline with Gridiron Gridlocks coming back. Week 0 college football next Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern time. What is it? 7 a.m. Pacific time to give you your college football pregame show. Yes, we shifted it up an hour. Main reasons because of my work schedule, and that will probably keep the show in jeopardy and where it plays and where it fits in. Like, I can't wrap my head around it. That's where it stands in itself. So we're just going to try to make the best of it, what we can create content-wise. I know we can fill other people into the show, but I don't know with how my work schedule is going to shake out in the next coming months. But hey, we're going to try to create content to the best of our ability. Without further ado, like I said, week 2 of college, I guess week 2 of NFL preseason is very difficult. There's not much stats to really look at the teams and where they're at and who's going to be playing. So I'm really not going to be reading too much of the stats of the wins and losses. Like, I'm just going to go with a gut pick, go through our top 5, close out this video, and we're going to be done with it. There's going to be no analyticals or anything about it. I mean, I can look at the wins and losses, but it's preseason. It doesn't really matter who you beat the previous week because, again, it's going to be a whole new starters type of scenario and a lot of the backups playing. So I'm just going to leave them out and we'll be done with it. But without further ado, let's go into the games. In the 6th slot, we got Saints Rams, August 22nd, 4 p.m. Eastern time, 1 p.m. Pacific time, ESPN Limited. I have no idea what that is. That's probably better than ESPN Plus, but I don't know where you can watch that, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't figured that one out yet. I saw, I'm like, what is that? And I'm like, I digress. So you got Saints Rams, August 22nd, 4 p.m. Eastern time, 1 p.m. Pacific time on ESPN Unlimited. And I have the Rams winning this one. In the 5th slot, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Packers and Broncos on top of that. We have the matchup where it's 9 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. Pacific time on the NFL Network with the Packers and Broncos, and I have the Broncos winning this matchup. In the 4th slot, ladies and gentlemen, we have Eagles Patriots, August 22nd, 7 p.m. Eastern time, 4 p.m. Pacific time on the NFL Network, and I have the Eagles winning this matchup. In the 3rd slot, ladies and gentlemen, we have Raiders Texans, August 20th, 8 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. Pacific time on ESPN, and I have the Texans winning this matchup. In the 2nd slot, ladies and gentlemen, we have Ravens, Vikings, August 22nd, 1 p.m. Eastern time, 10 a.m. Pacific time on ESPN Unlimited, and I have the Vikings winning this matchup. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, we have 49ers, Chargers, August 20th, 10 p.m. Eastern time, 7 p.m. Pacific time on Fox, ladies and gentlemen. And I have the Chargers winning this matchup. Like I said, there's not much science and details behind these preseason picks. Like I said, a lot of players are fighting for the right to be on that 53-man squad or 55-man roster. It is what it is. Like I said, it's a quick episode, easy in, easy out. There's not, like I said, not much we can do. We're just make picks, kind of a nice little bit of a filler episode. So easy show on that front. I mean, I can dive into the other stats that we have for 6 for 6 in general, but let's get a quick recap and I can dive into what our history of season 5 looks like of our, percentage of wins and losses. So in our 6th slot, we have Saints Rams, August 22nd, 4 p.m. Eastern time, 1 p.m. Pacific time on ESPN Unlimited, and I have the Rams winning this matchup. 5th slot, ladies and gentlemen, we have Packers, Broncos, August 21st, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Time on the NFL Network, and I have the Broncos winning this matchup. In the fourth slot, we got Eagles Patriots, August 22nd, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time on the NFL Network, and I have the Eagles winning this matchup. In the third slot, we have Raiders Texans, August 20th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time on ESPN, and I have the Texans winning it. Second slot, we have Ravens Vikings, August 22nd, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Time on ESPN Unlimited, and I have the Vikings winning it. Then you have 49ers versus Chargers, August 20th, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Pacific Time on the NFL Network, and I have the Chargers winning this matchup. How 6 for 6 is looking for season 5 thus far. I'm pulling up the whole stat record right now, ladies and gentlemen, and how it is what it is when we start breaking down the terms of 6 for 6 as my screen is making its adjustments. But for our wins and losses, we're kind of averaging 3.35 correct picks. Our losses, on the other hand, one is fantastic if you ask me on how we look at our 6 for 6 picks. I mean, our win percentage is about 66.34, and our losses is 27.72. Ties, again, because of the World Cup with the draw matches, we have 5.94%. I mean, overall, I'm pretty proud of, like I said, how season 5 is playing out for 6 for 6. The stats look beautiful. And this kind of goes how this ends up shaking out for the rest of season 5 with college football looming on the and more great picks, games that we have to pick the upsets in to get the great, glorious 6 for 6 correct picks. And I know that's tough to do. We've done it twice this season for 6 for 6. We got all 6 picks correct. But we have a couple 4-0 picks and 3-0 picks because of the World Cup and how the matchmaking ended up falling out. So season 5 is probably going to be one of the best seasons of 6 for 6 to date. Maybe season 6 is better. Maybe we get a lot more 6 for 6 picks thrown in there and more correct stuff. But again, thank you so much for watching. And remember, Gridiron Gridlock will be back next Saturday, week 0 of college football. I think that is August 27th, I want to say. Don't quote me on that until I check my calendar. August 29th, actually, now, ladies. That is August 29th. That show date will be for Gridiron Gridlock. We'll be back talking about college football, our pregame show. We got the script in the background looking at some great matchups, looking at schedule of national championship bubble teams that have an expectation they need to win it this year and so forth, like LSU, Texas, Oregon, Clemson, throw that list out there. And then our week 0 games and then stuff leading into week 1 before we get to the next Saturday of truly official week 1 of college football. Again, thank you so much for watching 6 for 6, and we'll catch you next time. So long for now. Bye-bye.